Good morning, everybody. This is your boy Mad Max, right back at it again with another great what if. What if Deku could edit quirks? Let's get it. So, um, Sashi, okay, so I'm gonna let you know this. Sashi ain't gonna be in Deku's life like that. I'm just gonna let y'all know that, okay? He's not gonna be in Deku's life at all. So basically, Deku, like, hmm, um, Deku calls this quirk edit. So basically, it means he can edit quirks, physical and mental, quirks to like strengthen quirks and make different types of quirks. So, um, we're gonna start this. What if, like, when Deku's, like when let's say when Deku's very little. So basically, Deku's at the park. At his house, and like his quirk awakens, and like let's say that he sees like ones and zeros, and like his mom, he is asking his mom like, "What is this, my quirk?" And she says, "Yeah, this is your quirk." So basically, Deku goes to the quirk doctor, and this is not the quirk doctor who works with All For One. I'm, I'm gonna let y'all know that, okay? Not the same doctor. So basically, they do some tests on Deku. Turns out, it's a quirk that basically edits quirks or make different types of quirks. And let's say that one of the doctors had like a lightning quirk, right? And basically, Deku is nonchalant with this because like over the time he's been training with his quirk, and like no one knew that he awakened it, only him, and he didn't really tell his mom shit. So yeah. So let's say that one of the doctors had a lightning quirk who was studying Deku. So basically, Deku, his eyes turned a neon green or a neon blue, and basically like the only thing he saw was like ones and zeros. And Deku, he asked the doctor, your quirk. He basically says quirk, let's say lightning kinetic, which means that the quirk the doctor has, it makes lightning, like it's basically like kinetic lightning, which means he can control or eat lightning. It depends on how it depends on how he ingests the lightning from his skin, or he eat it from his mouth. He can shoot lightning and breathe lightning. And some people saw that was like a weak quirk because like at the time he never really trained. So yeah. So Deku, so Deku asked the doctor, can he put his hand on his hand? And the doctor said, yeah, sure. And Deku, he basically written the doctor's quirk to where it wouldn't give that much drawback, to where Deku, to where the doctor can, he can basically rub his hand together and make like some static electricity, and like he can make creations of lightning, and he can basically breathe lightning and see lightning and travel through currents and stuff. Just because like people say that his quirk was crappy, and basically the doctor failed his dream of being a hero. So basically like the doctor's like, wow, thanks kid. And basically let's say that Inko, she's like, it's alright. And Inko like, hey Deku, hey Isaku, come with me for a little bit. And let's say that Inko, she basically ditches Deku, almost not, I mean, she does, like, really doesn't give a fuck about Deku at this point. Because, she basically wanted a son who had the power to literally rivals that of All Might and all the other heroes. So she's like, screw him. I don't need him. And Inko is living her best life. So basically, Deku, let's say that, I sort of want to say, yeah. Deku, he basically, lives in the forest. So, he basically understands English letters and everything. Because of his quirk, he makes himself smarter, stronger, and faster. So basically, let's say when she left Deku, it's been like almost like a week or like 4 days. Deku, he basically, he is sitting in the woods inside a cave, right? And this giant ass dog, like, let's say it's sort of like the same size like a car or a truck. It's that size, and like the dog was gonna attack Deku, and Deku basically used his quirk and made the dog intelligent. Like the dog is smart as fuck. It basically learned how to talk, speak, and basically, let's say, Deku sort of arranged the dog to where the dog had like a sound quirk, to where if the dog wants to, bark out like some loud ass sounds or call other wolves, it can. And Deku calls that the storm wolf howl for that animal because since it's a wolf, he basically like it conjure up storms or like lightning or rain. So basically, the dog is like, wow, like the dog is surprised because like the dog never had a quirk, and like Deku he basically gave him some intelligence on how quirks work and how his quirk works. So the dog is hold on, the dog is like sort of whimpering at Deku's feet and like thanks. And so basically Deku and that wolf they basically live together. The wolf hunts for food and stuff, and Deku takes care of the wolf. It's like a offer. Let's say it's like the beginning of middle school, and at this point Deku is doing online classes, like straight up online classes. The wolf has probably, let's say, gotten more used to his quirk now, to where like the wolf basically knows how to speak English and wolf. So basically, the wolf wants Deku to give some younger wolves some quirks, and Deku he basically like I don't know if I can trust them with it. And the wolf says, "These are my children, and I taught them about you and how they work." So like Deku's like, "Sure, just fine." And if you and look, if your little cubs, if they use the quirk strongly, I will be forced to take them back. And the wolf is like, "Okay, thank you for giving me intelligence. So is that a yes?" And Deku says, "Yeah, fine." And like the Deku, like, let's say the wolf mom is like really old, so where like her quirk is basically strong because Deku gave like one of the other wolves a strong quirk, and the puzzles came out with like, let's say, fire like the Sonic Wolf howl, I mean the Sonic Storm Wolf howl, and like let's say like a telekinesis quirk, which means the telekinesis quirk means you can move stuff with your mind and speak to people inside their mind. So basically, the wolf, like, it's only like let's say that there are two pups, and like the mom told Deku to raise them well, and Deku raised them well to the point where Deku taught them how to speak and how to walk on like I mean not walk, but like teach them about technology and stuff, videos, shit. And the wolves pretty much understand Deku. They consider him like the leader of their pack. So when Deku like this is around when like let's say a villain attack happens in the forest near Deku. And like one of the wolves, comes back, barking, and one of the wolf pups, I mean, one of the older wolves who like have a quirk, tells Deku that there's a battle going on and like we have to protect the forest, and Deku says fine. And Deku grabs like let's say over the time that Deku got some let's say he got some technology from like other battles with tech villains. He basically made like a gauntlet, like two gauntlets and a helmet. So since like these gauntlets are made out of tree sap and basically tech, it's not gonna work that well. So basically, Deku he basically goes over there to the villain fight, and let's say the villain fight is with like somebody with like a giant, like a huge ass machine, right? It's a huge ass machine, and like the heroes really like the heroes put out the fire, and basically they don't do the cleanup because like it's gonna basically decompose anyway. So yeah, Deku goes over there. He basically sees the robot, and let's say that the robot it was basically being controlled. Deku he basically he stays there near the robot all night and day, and Deku he grabs like he makes a decision to you know rebuild the robot, but smaller. So Deku like as he's fixing it up, a hero, let's say it was Mount Lady, going by the place, and like she sees like a person working on this old robot, like some wolves too. And she's wondering like, what is that? And she shrinks back down, and yes, she has a size quirk, which means she can shrink back down and shrink. I mean, and grow like Ant-Man. So basically, yeah, that happens. Basically, Deku. I mean, Mount Lady goes over to Deku and say, "Halt! What? What? I mean, what are you doing with that robot? Is that your property? Do you own that robot?" And Deku says, "No, this is not my property. I found it in the woods, and I wanted to fix it up." "Where's your mom, kid?" "She abandoned me." And at this point, Mount Lady is like, "Whoa, she really did abandon this kid." So Mount Lady takes Deku. Let's say this isn't when the whole what's the word? The 10 months of training happens. No, this is like way before that. Mount Lady takes Deku back to UA, and let's say the Wolf Pack follows Deku, cause like wherever they go, I mean wherever he goes, they go, and let's say one of the full grown pups, they don't tell the Wolf Pack no, sorry, but Izuku he basically wanted to do this by himself, so he told them to stay there and basically keep up the work, because like since like the wolves got more adapt to their quirks, like the telekinesis quirks, they basically got smarter. And Deku gave them an order to build like a place for them, like a village somewhere in, out like very far away from civilization and heroes and villains. So the wolves do that, and like let's say that they have a picture of Deku, and like they call him the Alpha, the not Baba Yaga, they call him the Great Wizard. because Deku has given them medicine, food, and taught them different things like a normal human should do. So Deku, he is basically like Mount Lady takes Deku back to UA, and this is when let's say shit, yeah. This is when basically this is before everything happened. Let's say this is around when like middle school Deku, like a second year in canon. So basically, yeah. And UA's a high. I mean, UA's a college, so it works out, right? So Deku, I mean, Mount Lady takes Deku back to UA, and basically Eraser is there with President Mike, and like um I was wondering like who is this kid, and like he thinks is this another kid that Mount Lady picked up. And Aizawa was wondering, hey kid, where's your parents? And Deku says, they abandoned me in the forest. I've been living there by myself with wolves. And when he say wolves, like their eyes widen, like what the fuck? You've been living there with wolves for for almost half your life. Deku nods, yeah. How have you kept your sanity? And are you really that smart? Yeah. I basically, let's say my quirk is called edit. I can edit quirks, make quirks, and basically, let's say upgrade quirks. And they, like let's say that they open an eye to this, and when like, is he a villain's son or overhaul? I mean, one for all. I mean, like all for one son. And Dick says, "No, my name is Izuku," and let's say that he hates the last name Midoriya, so he Izuku Takashi. And like they're wondering like, oh, this kid must be like a orphan or some shit. No, Izuku Takashi, and that's his name. They look up his name in the city's birth things, and the only thing that pops up is the name Midoriya, Izuku Midoriya, lost. So basically, Deku's like, I hate that name. Don't ever call me Midoriya. And the hero's like, okay. So basically, the dorms are finished now. And Deku, he like, thanks. And like, Deku gets like all cozied up inside the let's say the dorms, because they gave Deku like a big, like a 2 room, room, because they really wanted Deku to feel comfortable there. So Deku, he basically is smart at this point, and like let's say this is the next day, and Aizawa knocks on Deku's door, and Deku doesn't wake up. Aizawa opens up the door, and like he sees Deku sleeping on a desk, and like let's say it had a remote control on it, and like a old school gaming console, like the PS4 and the Xbox on it. And like he's wondering like, what did this kid do? And like Aizawa wakes Deku up, and Deku, wakes up, and he basically grabs Aizawa and throws him. Aizawa's like, what the fuck? Kid, I was just waking you up. And Deku says, oh, sorry. What habits? And basically, Aizawa, he basically, tells Deku, the principal of UA wants to talk to you about something. And Deku's like, okay. Like Deku goes up to the principal's office, and Nezu's there, and All Might's there, and Endeavor, basically some of the top heroes, like the first 3 heroes, are there. Endeavor's like, this kid, why is he here? Because basically, Aizawa says we found him in the woods, living with a pack of wolves. And like, they were wondering, like, what the fuck? And basically, Deku he speaks saying, "Those wolves, you so-called, and yes, I know all of your names, your quirks, and everything about you, just from one glance. All Might, quirk, one for all, passed down. Endeavor, child abuser, fucked up dad, and Nezu, quirk, intelligence, and control over tech." And they're wondering like, what the fuck? How does this kid know our quirks? Because like we never told anybody about our quirks. And basically, especially All Might, and like they were, and like you know, and there were dots of Ida just saying, "Kid, who's your father? I don't know, and I do not give a damn about him." And they were like, cool kid. So basically, they look up the name Midoriya once again, and they see Asashi Midoriya missing, and that's basically around the time when, let's say, All Might, starts, right? Like around the time All Might starts, being a hero, and Deku's like, okay, what's up? Like, Deku, he basically, dots an eye to All Might saying, All Might, I know the quirk. I know about your quirk, the details, and who had it. And basically, All Might gets some, dots an eye to Deku, like, how do you know that? And basically, Deku explains his quirk to them. His quirk is called Edit, where he can edit quirks, make quirks, and basically, upgrade quirks. And then basically that happens like all like if he wanted to, he can basically give you like a spare arm, spare rib, basically dragon breath, dragon scales, basically the works. And basically they call him like instead of calling him Midoriya, they call him Ryu for short, because they basically see, why he had the quirk called Edit, or they call him Oz for short, right? Which means like the Great Wizard of Oz. So if you haven't seen that, so please look at it and you will see why I named him Oz. So basically, they call him Oz. So Deku, like, after they get done, explaining Deku, like saying you can be enrolled here or trained here with the heroes. So Deku, he basically chose to train at UA with the heroes, and basically they are very surprised that Deku caught on quickly. Aizawa, he basically, Deku is like Aizawa's favorite, because like Aizawa only spends time with Deku when training or on sleep, because yeah, they both go out to eat very like a lot. They talk, have fun and stuff. And let's say that Aizawa is more of a father figure to Deku, because Deku, he basically doesn't really have like a father or a mother, because Inko ditches us. So let's say All Might pulls Deku to the side and saying, "Hey kid, do you want my quirk?" And Deku says, "No, but I can fix your quirk." And like, let's say All Might's like, "What? I can fix your quirk or edit your quirk," which means I can give you a longer time limit, which means like about a week or two. And All Might says, "Sure, kid." And basically, let's say that the Small Might form is gone. It does not exist no more. Small Might gone, dead. He is dead. And All Might keeps his perfect figure, like when he was like younger. He basically keeps that whenever he goes down to Small Might. I'm I'm kidding. Okay, after what I said, Small Might is dead. He is gone for good. All Might is in his prime now. Literally, he is in his prime. So basically, All Might basically, he keeps on being a hero. Like, let's say that his time limit is like 3 weeks, and like he is like, "Thanks, kid. How about we go out for a drink?" And at this point, Deku is 19. So basically, All Might and Deku go out drinking. And yes, this is not like canon All Might, but like let's say All Might has that discount at the bar because like he holds the record for holding the most liquor. So All Might has like a record there. Deku basically like this is around the 10 like okay, so the 10 months of training is over. So basically, let's start at the entrance exam, right? Deku he basically walks out to the arena, right? And like the heroes see him, but like they don't want to say anything to him because like they don't want the students to feel like, oh, how do they know him? Is that like one of the trainees here or something like that? It's like they don't really give a damn. So basically, Deku he walks out in like a UA shirt. I mean in like a UA jumpsuit that they had made for Deku. And Deku walks out with like two gauntlets that are slimmer like Tony's. He basically walks out of there with like those two on his hand, I mean, like basically that on his hand, and like yeah, that like it's like that on his hand. So once Mike says like once the gate open, they could just fucking hold on, scratch that. Deku he aces the written exam, and he correct everything that Nezu put there, and he corrects more and more and more, like going down to the deep shit, and like he turns that shit in, and like the person who saw it was like Mike. Mike says, "Damn, Izuku is smart. I mean, Reed was smart." So once they do the thing, like once they talk about the 0 pointers and stuff, all that stuff, and Deku lines up and he sees Uraraka, and like he's gonna go say hello, then Ida jumps in, and Deku's like nope. He basically touches Ida, and like he basically throws up. And Deku walks over to Uraraka saying, "Hello, my name is Izuku Takashi. It's a pleasure to meet you." And let's say Uraraka's like, "Thanks, I guess. So you're going to be a hero too?" It says, "Yeah, basically." So Deku, so as like the gates are open, everybody was gonna line up, and Mike counts down, and Deku just fucking rockets off, grabbing fucking robots, fucking crushing them, fucking them up. He is ripping them apart. Like at this point, Deku has like 1,000 points, like basically 1,000 and like 1,500 points right now, and going up. And Deku stops a little bit so some other people can get a chance. And like Deku sees the 0 pointer there, and like that shit reminds him of like the wolf pack he had. And let's say that Deku kept like the skin of the alpha mom that basically like that's the first animal that Deku gave a quirk to. So like the alpha mom, yes, like let's say that in her pelt that the quirk basically wrote down like let's say notes and stuff. Like, let's say the quirk affected her skin, which turned her skin into like a metal like substance. And Deku wore this around, school. And the heroes really didn't know why. And like they said really, screw it. They really didn't ask Deku about it. And like when heroes ask Deku about it, like, hey, why are you wearing that? That's disgusting. And Deku says this is the pelt that I first gave like an animal a quirk to. And they were raising up like, what? You gave an animal quirk? Yes, an intelligence quirk and a sound quirk, which means that animal was able to use. Let's say that animal was able to use like a sound, like let's call it um what I call it basically the sonic storm wolf howl. And I know it's long, like it's literally Deku's name for the quirk. And they like, what? The sonic storm wolf's howl? Yes. Why did you give it to the animal? The animal was going to kill me. Okay. I basically explained to her about the quirks and like how things work with humans and stuff. And like she basically raised me like all my life until she died. So you're saying that you grew up with a wolf pack and that alpha was the leader? Yes. And like they see on the inside of the pelt, it's like it has like, let's say, groovings that are like, Deku can understand like ones and zeros and stuff, which means like if somebody touched it, Deku would break their hand or make them puke or something. And like Deku would the okay, so let's get to the thing that's on the pelt. That is like a secret formula that him and the mom made for like the wolves. The wolves literally understand what's on, like what is in the pelt, so they allow Deku to keep the pelt for safety, because like they really don't know if like a villain or a hunter going to try to kill them, or like kill them or take the pelt. So let's get back to the thing. And Deku sees like this zero pointer, and like the flashback is over, and like good, like the good old days. And Deku, he basically like let's say that Uraraka is there, and like Deku, he basically like he jumps up on a building, and like he is over the zero pointer is like high as fuck. Deku jumps up on a building, and he jumps up to the, let's say, the zero pointer, and like his quirk activates, right? And like let's say when Deku touches the zero pointer, it basically shrinks down into like a backpack, a white backpack with like like black lines and stuff, like, and the UA logo on it. And like everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? And Deku, he basically walks out the smoke. Recovery girl, I mean, not recovery girl, but like let's say that some people like, oh crap, he is strong as fuck, you shouldn't fuck with him. And Bakugo, he goes to like a different college, because like he is like somewhat smarter, and like he doesn't have his ego. So basically Deku, he wants out the smoke, and like everybody is cheering from yeah, they just, like, they just say good job, good job, good job. And Deku, he says thanks, I guess. And like recovery, like everybody moves out the way and sees recovery girl. And like recovery girl, she's like somewhat young, because like when Deku had like a sprained ankle or something, Deku would always mess with recovery girl's quirk, which make like every time she uses it, it makes her younger, like every time she uses it. And like recovery girl, says that kid did this to me. So she says, "Hello, Izuku," and Deku turns around like, "Hey, recovery girl. Why? Why is my quirk making me younger? I don't know." And Deku, like, as Deku was gonna, leave, recovery girl, grabs Deku by the arm, saying, "Are you sure about that, you little whippersnapper?" And Deku's like, "Help me." And like the last thing you hear is Deku being knocked out and dragged to the medical office, and like all they hear is like, "Oh shit, should we go save him?" I was like, "Nah, this is on the kid. Help me!" The only thing you can hear is Deku screaming, saying, "Help me, you motherfuckers! I know you pros can hear me, especially you, Aizawa." And Aizawa says, "No, problem child, I'll save you." And then the hero's like, "What a fucked up life." They had to take care of Deku because, in their eyes, they saw Deku as like their child. And yes, all the pro heroes are like family. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off. Adios, amigos. Soy Mad Max, leaving today. And, da. And this is part one, so. Okay, so. Before I leave, please go to my Discord and literally put some ideas that you want there on the Discord, because like I'm not going to respond to them on the comments because I don't want to have the hassle of going to the comments and going back to the video. So no, please put all your ideas on the Discord. The Discord is in one of my videos. Please go check it out. And please give this video like 100 likes or something, please. And this is, Mad Max signing off. And happy late Thanksgiving, I guess.